So YouTube, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to be talking to you guys about how to get started game collecting. So I decided to do this video because I've been collecting for just over a year now, and I wanted to tell you what I learned in this past year about collecting games and how I got started and all that, because it's still pretty fresh in my head. So how I got started game collecting was, I was in CX one day and I seen a GameCube controller in the window, and I was looking around the games and stuff, and I seen GameCube games, and I'd started watching kind of game collecting YouTube videos and more gaming content, and it was something that I wanted to do. Like, I seen on YouTube these like massive game room tours where they had like a shit ton of Nintendo stuff and you know, these big walls of games and stuff, and I kind of wanted that, but because I'd been kind of out of video games for a while and I just played games here and there, I didn't really know how I would get into that. So I just decided that day that I wanted to start it, and I started it. And I haven't looked back since. The two games I got, I can remember, it was Smash Bros and Melee, which I'm glad I bought that because that has shot up in price this year, so good call me. And it was Call of Duty, I think it was World at War? No, I always get it, Finest Hour it was Finest Hour. But obviously I had games, you know, from my childhood and stuff still in the house, and I just kind of started my collection from those. So my advice is start from what you have, basically. I did have my childhood collection of games, which was like New Super Mario Bros. For DS, I had Nintendo Dogs for DS, and you know, stuff like that that I kept. I'd always want to start collecting, and that's how I just got started. So that's completely what I recommend you guys. If you're thinking about starting a collection but you're not sure how to start, my first bit of advice is just start doing it. Just go and buy something that you see and you want. So once you've got started, where do you find the games to collect them? My advice for actually buying games, the first one is to get to know your gaming scene. You know, where will you be around your area? Where will you be buying games? For me, mostly it's CX. That's like my main place where I go and buy games. Obviously with COVID, I haven't been out buying games. So CX and Game are like my two closest game shop where I can buy pre-owned games and new games in game. But another thing I do is I do a lot of shopping online. You can find a lot of weird stuff online that you might not necessarily have seen before. My favorite thing to do on eBay is like my main place where I game collect, is just go in to the, like, type in video games and then just use the filters, and you'll find like some really crazy cheap games. But yeah, you can do that. You'd also go in to buy it now. Like, there's a lot of options for eBay, so I recommend using eBay. I know in America they have like Craigslist and stuff. You could try that. A lot of people I've heard have had success with Facebook Marketplace. I never liked using Facebook Marketplace because anything I've seen anyway in my local area looked absolutely disgusting. Like, I seen a PlayStation 3 that was literally just caked in dust, and I'm like, I want a PlayStation 3, but not that bad. So yeah, you just kind of scope out deals online and stuff like that. Kind of just get to know where you like shopping for games, what kind of places work the best for you. I found eBay works the best for me, and going into stores like CX and Game are kind of my areas for game collecting. But I've also heard charity shops. A lot of people discount charity shops. Any charity shops I've been in, all I've seemed to find is like really grubby looking copies of Rock Band with like bad looking instruments. Some people swear by going to charity shops and asking what's in the back. I haven't had any success with that. They just give me a weird look. Also, kind of learn, for me, what I've kind of done over the years, I've learned kind of when sales happen and stuff like that. Game have a sales section. At the minute, looking at current trends, the PlayStation 4 games are getting quite cheap, obviously, because the PlayStation 5 has just been announced. Have got my pre-order secured. So obviously PlayStation 4 games have dropped significantly. If you're starting a collection now, PlayStation 4 might actually be a nice little area to shop in at the minute. PlayStation 3's gone considerably down. Xbox 360 as well. Retro stuff seems to be going way up. PlayStation 2 could be on the rise. Those are the kind of trends you're going to want to know and analyze and keep looking at when you are actually out there collecting. Look at what kind of games are going up in price and look at what kind of games are going down in price. It sounds confusing, but honestly, once you start collecting, you'll kind of figure out what way games go. You will figure it out. When I first delved in, I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Now that I've gotten into it, I know what kind of things go up and down in price. For example, Nintendo games never go on sale. I learned that the hard way. I've been waiting for Breath of the Wild to come down. I'm like, why is that never ever came down? It won't ever. I might as well just buy Breath of the Wild or just get it for Christmas. That's actually another tip. Ask people for video games if you have a special occasion coming up and you want a specific game. Ask somebody to get it for you. That's always a good recommendation as well. That will help bulk out your collection. Another one is just genuinely let people know that you're collecting games. If you just happen to say to your friends, especially now if they're selling their consoles to get like the newer consoles and selling games and stuff, ask them what games they have and, you know, maybe buy a few games off them to help them get that new console, or just genuinely let people know that you're collecting and say to them, listen, I'm collecting games. If you're selling anything, may I have a look through it before you trade it into somewhere? That could be also a very good way to bulk out your collection. I haven't had any luck doing that at the minute, but again, I've heard of people having luck doing that. But my biggest tip is just collect what you're interested in, and honestly, you will build a collection. If you had told me like this time last year that I would have over 100 games, I would not believe you, but I do. If you want to be a little bit crazy like me and catalog your games and record your game collection, which I recommend doing when you have a smaller collection, because it will be so much easier to just add to it as you get games. If you have a massive collection already, there's no hope in hell you're going to categorize that if it's over like 500. You're doomed. But if you want to do that, I did do a video on how to make an Excel spreadsheet for game collecting, which I will link in the card up there. I did this video completely unscripted, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit up and down or whatever, but I just want it to be more of a candid kind of talk to the camera and just a little chat about game collecting. If you want to ask me any questions about what I've learned in the past year from game collecting, feel free to ask me in the comments down below, and I will definitely get to your question. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up and also show some love, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.